Now, if I'm being completely honest, this video was a light bulb moment. And you're probably thinking, what is a light bulb moment? Where watching One Piece episode 1061 and seeing Sanji go crazy was the light bulb to this video idea. Because Blackbeard is now in the forefront during the final saga. We have one of his ships heading towards Egghead Island. We have him, of course, defeating Alot near that Winter Island. And of course, we have Aokiji, Shiliew the Rain, and the rest of the Blackbeard pirates on, of course, Pirate Island Beehive, going up against Monkey D. Garp, who, of course, took down Roxy Zebek, who used to, of course, form the rocks on Pirate Island Beehive. So there's so many different plot lines that are about to go down. And honestly, I thought we never really truly look at the Blackbeard pirates as specific characters like we do other crews. Like, we don't just look at the Big Mom pirates and just, oh, okay, look at we look at Big Mom, we look at Hatakuri, we look at, of course, Smoothie and Cracker as the sweet commanders. You can even add Snack in there. Then, of course, you add Sparrow and these other outliers that are also elite pirates. The same thing for Whitebeard. Whitebeard, of course, we had of course, Marco, Jozu as the guys that were going up against admirals as young commanders, but also you have Vista who went up against Mihawk a little bit, and then of course we have Ace who of course had that clash with Aokiji. Like, we have the elite pirates of crews, and then Izu of course rose to elite status after Wano, of course. So I just want to say that Blackbeard doesn't really get that same attention, that same shine, and with the red hair pirates and the Blackbeard pirates being on two trains going crazy miles per hour, I don't have a number for it, and they're about to clash, and I really think we do have to do a deep dive on, of course, the Titanic trio. Now, of course, I'm about to say some crazy stuff, so stick to the end of the video, and I don't want you to miss all the crazy developments that happens in this video. Now, you see the title, of course, is Blackbeard's Monster Trio. And the reason why I say this is because Luffy and his Monster Trio have been the forefront of the fan base when it comes to popularity polls and just monumental moments in the series. Think about it, guys. When you have Luffy's Monster Trio, we're talking about Zoro and Sanji, and the peak moments they have, like Thriller Bark, where of course Zoro and Sanji are fighting to see who can sacrifice himself for Luffy. That is, in my opinion, peak One Piece Monster Trio moments. Of course, post time skip was all just reassurance of these guys being legit goated, and of course the Wano was the kind of the amazing moment of Nico Robin and pretty much hyping up Sanji, and of course we just know these guys are the wings of the Pirate King, and Zoro and Sanji's conversation about to defeat King and Queen, the top young commander of Kaido, and saying if we defeat these guys, we're this much closer to becoming, of course, making Luffy become the Pirate King. All in all, amazing stuff. But of course, the jokes are gonna fly, of course, when you add in Jinbei. But speaking about jokes, you guys still haven't hit the subscribe button after all the years I've been making One Piece content, and you guys still ain't liking the video. You guys are just watching and not liking it. Come on, guys, help the channel out. Like the video, subscribe the video to the channel, because and turn notifications, because that just helps me put out more content for you guys. This summer, I want to put out the most elite content. For the first time, I'm going to be putting all my resources, funding, everything to this channel, and try to give you guys the best quality. So of course, subscribe and hit the like button. We are not missing collaborations. Everything's about to go down on this channel. Jinbei replaced Luffy. I know that's a crazy statement to say, but the Monster Trio was Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, but now it's actually a true Monster Trio where Luffy is just a cut above the rest as the Yonko and the future Pirate King, and he has his own Monster Trio in Zoro, Sanji, and Jinbei. And we already see the jokes coming, of course, at the end of Wano, where Zoro's like, oh, Jinbei has a higher bounty than you, Sanji, so that means you're 4, and like just the banter we have amongst these guys. But I truly believe the greatest moment was when, of course, they were all sitting down watching Green Bull get ran away because of Shanks conquers Haki. Just seeing Luffy and his dogs, Luffy and his Monster Trio, his top Yonko commanders. Like, can you imagine the scene of what they're saying? Oh, you gotta watch out for Zoro, Sanji, and Jinbei. They're the top young commanders of Yonko, Pirate King, and Luffy. Like, our top Yonko. Like, it's amazing things can happen because Luffy has his top dogs that are just monsters. And we saw that in Wano. Now, I personally believe we got something similar when it comes to Kozuki Oden joining Gold D Roger, because Roger had his two guys. They both wanted to fight Oden, Rayleigh and Scarper Gabon. And then, of course, Kozuki Oden gets added into the mix, and now Roger has 3 elite pirates under him, and him himself is an elite pirate. So you see there's always a 3 under the captain that really makes them monsters. And honestly, you could even say that if you look at Kozuki Oden in the comparison, I was talking to BDA Law about this in my last video, guys, check it out. Law could also join after being defeated. He could also join the Straw Hat Pirates, and he could be like the Kozuki Oden, where Beppo's the mink, like Nekomushi and Arashi, and they can join the Roger Pirates and their journey, of course, to Laugh Tale. And if we see that, guys, we see Law on that crew, we now know it's Law, Zoro, and Sanji, the monster trio. And honestly, I don't think that's the final monster trio. I have a different direction, which I'm going to talk about at the end of the video, so I want you guys to stay tuned, but that's just something I threw out there. Now, if we're going to look at monster trios, before we get to Blackbeard, guys, I know you guys think it's a Blackbeard video, but we have to build it up, guys. It has to be progression in this. Big Mom was the first Yonko we kind of did a deep dive on post time skip. And Big Mom, I'm going to be honest with you, in their Yonko crew, we really only had one strong figure, and that was Katakuri, and that's why Luffy had to face that strong figure. Now, don't get me wrong, Cracker and Smoothie are very powerful characters, but I think Katakuri was pretty much the character that you look at when it comes to the Big Mom pirates. Now, of course, Oven, Perospero, Daifuku, Smoothie, and Cracker and Snack, they have so many legitimized pirates, monster pirates, but you have to understand that Katakuri was just a cut above the rest, and that's why he was the only one with a billion berry bounty. Then we look at Kaido and his calamities, and Kaido's actually known for his 3 guys. He's known for his calamities, but to me personally, I know he has his calamities and his flying 6, and they're all powerful, but King and Queen were just a step above the rest, and that's why we even have Jack, who has a billion berry bounty, calling King and Queen big bro. That's how much they looked at these 2 guys as pretty much the guys who are Kaido's most trustworthy top dogs. And the reason why Kozuki Oden, when he was going to fight Kaido and his 2 guys, King and Queen. And King and Queen were going out with the Red Scabbard, so 20 years ago. So I definitely want to say that Kaido did do one better than, of course, Big Mom, because Kaido kind of has like 2 Katakuris. He has King and Queen, 2 monster pirates. Queen with his, of course, his science, and of course he's an ancient Zoan, and King with his Lunarian race and being an ancient Zoan. Like, they both are just monster young commanders. I think Kaido had his 2 legitimate top dogs. And then we have Shanks, and Shanks has 3 guys that are just, in my personal opinion, characterization, since we see them in chapter 1, and now of course they're now all the way here as being named by brand new. Like he says, the Reddit pirates are known for their balance when it comes to their power scaling and their crew, and you have to watch out for Beckman, Lucky Roo, and Yasop. They are just disgustingly powerful. That's what brand new said, honestly. And then if you look at it, guys, we have Ben Beckman being hinted at beating Kid when he first got into the New World, and then of course we all know Yasop is, of course, Usopp's father, and then Lucky Roo. Like, honestly, film Red, we got the Red Hair Pirates, but I truly believe when we see these 3 guys fight, we're gonna be like, okay, Shanks has guys who are just insane. And there's a reason why Ichiro Oda didn't have them fight. Like, Lucky Roo's like, yo, Shanks, we can handle Eustace Kid, and Shanks like, no, he's 3 billion berry bounty, we can't take him like he's nothing. That's how strong Lucky Roo, knowing that Kid has a 3 billion berry bounty and just helped defeat Big Mom, is like, oh yeah, we could take him. These guys are, it doesn't matter if it's the truth, their confidence is what really scares me about these top young commanders of Shanks. And I think Shanks over Big Mom and Kaido was the first one to actually have a monster trio. Now, I do want to say this, Blackbeard could have a case. You could have an argument that Blackbeard, out of all the Yonkos we've seen, I'm talking even going back to Whitebeard, and of course Whitebeard had Mark and all of them, but I'm talking about Big Mom, I'm talking about Kaido, and I might even say Shanks. Blackbeard has the strongest crew member. And now you can add in Luffy into that, and even maybe, I think Buggy's a little too much because Buggy, but the thing is Buggy, he's an enigma because his strongest crew member is pretty much should be the captain. Miyuk should be the captain across Guild. But I'm talking about Aokiji. Blackbeard has Aokiji, the man who was supposed to be Fleet Admiral and lost to Akainu in 10 days. Akainu is Aokiji is no slouch in power, ability, and skills, and he's on the Blackbeard Pirates. But I'm not going to count him for this video. Yes, for the Titanic trio, for the monster trio of Blackbeard, I'm not going to count Aokiji. And I truly believe Aokiji has a different agenda than just being a Blackbeard pirate, the 10th division commander, pretty much 10th Titanic captain. I think that I'm really not going to count Aokiji because I don't think Aokiji will be fighting the Straw Hat Pirates with of course, the other Blackbeard Pirates. I think he could be involved, but I don't think he's actually going to be going ham and have a crazy battle with one of the Straw Hat Pirates. Because honestly, if Oda does that, I will actually be very impressed because that's going to be an ankle breaker like Allen Iverson, Kyrie Irving. I did not expect that. I personally believe none of the level 6 prisoners, guys, hear me out. None of the level 6 prisoners that he freed and impelled down will be in his top 3 because of the narrative. Don't forget, Boa Hancock, No Diff, Vasco Shot, and countering Devon. I'm not saying they're not powerful, but Oda, of course, Boa Hancock has a hack stability, and she could have done that to Blackbeard, but she didn't do it to Blackbeard. Oda purposely made sure it was Vasco Shot and Katarina Devon. There's narratives that have to be discussed. Then you look at Aokiji. Aokiji, before he actually joined the Blackbeard Pirates, he no-dipped San Juan Wolf, Vasco Shot again, and Pizarro. And I'll be honest here. San Juan Wolf is disgustingly big, huge. Pause. And of course, we have Pizarro, who's just, of course, huge himself because he can turn into an island. So San Juan Wolf and Pizarro are no slouch, and I genuinely believe they're amazingly powerful characters. But still, the narrative, he does not, I think Ichiro does not want these Blackbeard's top 3 to, of course, be looked in a bad light before they actually are going at it. Then you look at the main crew, and I feel like the main crew, Doc Hugh has to be eliminated because he also got no diff by Aokiji. We see him frozen in ice. And of course, you can even add on to the fact that Law's crew in the battle recently we just saw, Law gets out of his disease, which is not that bad, but the whole situation of Law's crew, when he throws the exploding apples, Law's crew, of course, sends it right back at him. So I feel like Doc Hugh, I'm gonna cancel him out of him being a top 3 of the Blackbeard Pirates. I think he's a main crew member, the Doctor, and a very important member. We see Blackbeard riding on stronger and Doc Hugh when he got there. Pause. But I do think he's not a Titanic trio. Then we have Burgess. I think Burgess is actually the most interesting one because I think Burgess, who got packed out at Dressrosa, yes, by Sabo twice, but he did show hockey. That's pretty cool that he showed hockey during the Coliseum fight. And of course, he's one of the guys who had a new devil fruit, the strong fruit. He threw a mountain at Law, making him worthy of being a Blackbeard monster trio. If you could show hockey and lose to Sabo, which lose to Sabo was not that bad, I'm gonna be honest, Sabo was pretty powerful. But then you also show a new devil fruit ability and also have now the strong fruit with good hockey. I think his hockey's not that bad. I think he definitely is worthy of being a top 3 in the Blackbeard Pirates. The thing is, I think the other characters I'm about to mention are just more worthy. And the fact that he was taken down Dressrosa, I think Oda has a different plan for Burgess. I think Burgess, in my personal opinion, is supposed to be the 4th commander of the Blackbeard Pirates. He's supposed to be the how do I say, the bruiser, the muscle. If you think about it, he's just the muscle of the Blackbeard Pirates. And I'll get deeper in the end of the video, so stay tuned. Now, I want to put my attention to after Burgess is defeated and he calls the Blackbeard Pirates, and guess who picks up? It's Luffy, another main member of the Blackbeard Pirates. And guess who's with Luffy? Shiliew the Rain. And they're laughing at Jesus Burgess. They're literally laughing at this character who's on death's doorstep and pretty much saying, you lost. Like, they're looking at him beneath, like that he's not worthy in a sense. Now you could just see that's the ban to the Blackbeard Pirates, but I think there's also narrative decisions that Ichiro Oda is doing, and I truly believe these 2 characters had hints of being a Titanic trio member. Then we look at Luffy as a character in general. He's a main Blackbeard crew member, and he was one of the characters, of course, that was really highlighted early on in the story, like first 300 chapters. He snuck into Mary Joa's, met up with Sengoku, Mihawk, Doflamingo, Kuma, and Suru early in the One Piece story and said, yeah, make Blackbeard the warlord. And he has a 0 billion berry bounty, and Suru's like, no, this guy's Luffy from the West Blue. He's known as a former officer and just a savage. So honestly, Suru hyped up Luffy as a monster in the West Blue, and that's why the Grand Line doesn't know about him, because he's been posted in the West Blue the entire time. Don't forget, after Blackbeard got Whitebeard's Delphin ability and went to the New World and he defeated Bonnie, they're having discussions with the Blackbeard Pirates, and Pizarro's like, why don't we just make me the captain? Of course, Pizarro's a former level 6 prisoner. He is the island fruit. He just thinks he's worthy of being the captain of the Blackbeard Pirates. He's a strong New World fighter. And Lafitte says, do you want me to kill you? Blackbeard is the captain. The loyalty and the confidence to say he's gonna kill Pizarro makes me look at Lafitte different. And then we can even add on to that, which honestly is just crazy, the fact that he wanted to kill the former Admiral Aokiji during their conversations, saying to Blackbeard, hey, his Delphin ability is pretty valuable. Should we just take him out and steal his Delphin ability? Lafitte is a savage, and he is not scared of anybody. since Merger was seeing the Fleet Admiral Sengoku, the world's greatest swordsman Mihawk, Doflamingo, Kuma, Suru, to now, of course, a former Admiral Aokiji, Luffy does not show fear, and the fact that there's hints of Luffy being the one to lead that shift to Egghead Island just makes it all the better for me personally. I'm a Luffy fan, I won't lie to you guys. Then there's Shiliew the Rain, Shiliew the Rain, I'm gonna be honest with you, he has the Devil Fruit of the Invisible Fruit, and is also a swordsman, and just makes me think he could be a really amazing fight easily for both Zoro and Sanji. Zoro, of course, because Shiliew the Rain is a swordsman and he's invisible, and we know Zoro's has more better in armor haki than observation haki, it looks like Shiliew the Rain is the perfect opponent for Zoro. Then if you look at Sanji, Sanji always wanted to become invisible. Sanji now can move at invisible speeds. And then we see Shiliew the Rain, a sword, and Sanji's always beefing Zoro, a swordsman, in, of course, Stride Pirates and their banter. It would be cool to see Sanji even fight Shiliew the Rain. So if the Stride Pirates' two top dogs have a cool element, if they did fight Shiliew the Rain, it makes it pretty obvious Shiliew the Rain probably is the vice captain of the Blackbeard Pirates, the first made level character, the Katakuri, the King level character, the Ben Beckman level character of the Blackbeard Pirates. And then we of course got confirmation when Shiliew the Rain was in that color spread of Zoro, Beppo, Rayleigh, just all the vice captains, Marco, and then we see Shiliew the Rain there. So Oda obviously is trying to say Shiliew the Rain is that guy. And don't forget the narrative decision of Shiliew the Rain and Impel Down being locked up by Magellan, of course. And then, of course, being freed by Magellan because Magellan needed him. Then Shiliew the Rain joining the Blackbeard Pirates. Everyone thought that he was going to fight them, but he joins them and then saves them after they're all poisoned by Magellan, of course. And then doesn't say he's going to join in the anime. He doesn't say he's going to join until Blackbeard, of course, takes Whitebeard's Devil ability. So, honestly, Shiliew the Rain has always been looked at as a cool character. And he doesn't really have any bad moments. There's only one thing you could say. There is, of course, the hint of him being defeated by Magellan in the past. Because, yes, they say he's the same level as Magellan. But, of course, Magellan has that Delver ability that's just broken. So, how does Magellan capture him? Of course, you just put your mind, your logic, and you can understand what they're pushing at there. But definitely want to say Shiliew the Rain is, in my personal opinion, a guaranteed Titanic captain. And not just a guaranteed Titanic captain, a guaranteed Titanic trio member. I think personally the most underrated is Von Augur, the sniper. I remember that cool moment we saw in Jaya, just making him look like a lethal sniper. And Von Augur to me looks super intelligent when he speaks. He speaks very deeply about things, and honestly just looks like a very legit character in my personal opinion. Don't forget, Von Augur was the one who accompanied Aokiji to Whole Cake Island, a Yonko territory, to take Pudding, of course, and defeat Cracker. Now, of course, we know Aokiji defeated Cracker, but I'm saying Blackbeard trusted two guys, and the two guys we saw were Von Augur and Aokiji. That's a two-man mission, and they had possibilities of going up against Katakuri, Oven, Cracker, like just monsters. Of course, they didn't. They only went up against Cracker, but still, Blackbeard must really trust Von Augur's power and strength and ability. Then, of course, we see that Von Augur has also acquired a new Delphoid ability. That is the teleportation Delphoid ability. And now you're thinking, if he can teleport, he's already a lethal sniper. We saw against Law, he's teleporting all these characters like Blackbeard and Jesus Burgess, and the way he can just do things, honestly, Von Augur probably has one of the most craziest abilities in the One Piece story in general. So this is screaming Titanic trio member. And then of course we also can't forget Shanks. One of Shanks' top 3 members is Yasopp, and Yasopp is a sniper. So that is just a confirmation of one of Shanks' top 3 members is a sniper, and Blackbeard also has a sniper. It's confirmation that these two are going to go at each other. Von Augur is a Titanic trio member, and I think Yasopp is the biggest thank you for that. And the reason why I told you guys to stick to the end of the video is because I'm a big fan of Usopp getting to the monster trio at the end of the story. I feel like Usopp should replace Jinbei, and it should be Zoro, Sanji, and Usopp being the monster trio commanders of Luffy. And the reason why I say that is because of Arlong Park and just the East Blue Saga and how they were there during the East Blue Saga, and just honestly, it makes sense. If Von Augur is a monster trio member of Blackbeard, we know confirmation 100% that Yasopp is a monster trio of Shanks. It just makes sense for Usopp to be replacing Jinbei as that monster trio commander, Pirate King commander for Luffy. Of course, Usopp also unlocked Observation Haki early on in Dressrosa. The level up we're going to see after Elbaf arc, which pretty much is coming up after Egghead Island. It's all looking like Usopp is going to be legit. And that's why I say that the Titanic trio members are Von Augur the sniper, Luffy of course, the covert op, kind of like Sanji, of course, and we know Luffy has like winged Delphoid ability, we just don't know, hasn't been named yet, and that was early on, pre-time skip. And of course, the swordsman Shiliew the Rain. I personally believe they are the Titanic trio member of the Blackbeard Pirates, and Blackbeard has some goons on him, yo. I have to respect it, yo. Blackbeard has some guys. Now, of course, don't forget to click the end screen because there's a Kid Law video about the next arc and if they're gonna bounce back with, of course, the GOAT BDA Law. I collabed the BDA Law there, so click that end screen, watch that video. Tell me your thoughts down in the comment section. Like and share if you enjoy, like and share only if you enjoy. Subscribe for more One Piece content. I'm the LegendMac, and I'm gone.